Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedant Agarwal. Our lead story, well, the Congress has released its second list for Haryana. This, of course, after there was some sort of rebellion within the Congress, of course, in the BJP as well. But a senior leader in the party had expressed his displeasure over the distribution of tickets. But 9 candidates have been declared in the latest list, including, of course, in Gurugram. Mohit Grover will be contesting for Gurugram. It's an interesting choice there. These are, of course, the strongholds or the bastions of the BJP traditionally. But let me go across live to my colleague Sunil Prabhu joining us on the phone line. So, Sunil sir, some of the highlights of the second list and also the latest on the seat-sharing alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, as you are well aware, this is 9 seats have been declared. There have already been 32 seats declared earlier. So it's in that context that the Congress has announced Brijinder Singh, who was a former member of parliament and a former IAS officer, who will be contesting from Uchana Kalan, as well as Mohit Grover from Gurugram. And to take on from Tosham, there'll be Anirudh Chaudhary, who will take on Kiran Chaudhary's daughter, Shruti Chaudhary, who is also a former member of parliament. So these are the main contenders in the list that has been declared. It's in this context that the Congress is trying to get, all its lists in order. As we've been pointing out, there's been a huge faction, be it Kumari Selja or Randeep and Mr. Huda, all have to be taken on board without demoralizing anybody. And it's in that backdrop that the Congress is getting ready for this important Haryana elections.
There, as Sunil is reporting, 5 seats is perhaps what the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress could possibly agree on, but the Congress there releasing its second list. Meanwhile, Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party has made an interesting remark. He says if there is no win-win situation with the Congress, there will be no alliance. But he's also said that the announcement will be made before the last day of filing the nominations.
कौन सी सीटें होंगी, कितनी सीटें होंगी, इस पे बॉल बाय बॉल कमेंट्री नहीं की जा सकती है। अलायंस करने के लिए आरज़ू भी है, हसरत भी है, उम्मीद भी है। आखिरी तारीख नॉमिनेशन की 12 तारीख है। 12 तारीख से पहले फैसला ले लेंगे और अगर मन नहीं मिले या अगर विन विन सिचुएशन नहीं हुआ तो फिर छोड़ देंगे।
हाँ, देखिए, दोनों दलों के अंदर भय है, दोनों भ्रष्टाचार की दलदल में फंसे हुए हैं। हरियाणा की जनता ने तय कर लिया है, चाहे कांग्रेस एक गठबंधन करे, चाहे कांग्रेस 10 गठबंधन करे, कांग्रेस का सुपड़ा साफ होने वाला है। हरियाणा में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार तीसरे बार बड़े मैंडेट के साथ बन रही है।
Meanwhile, it's the wrestlers who are really at the center of the Haryana dangle. Well, Vinesh Fogart has hit the campaign trail and she spoke exclusively to NDTV. She said, we will defeat and prove Brijbhushan Sharan Singh wrong. Take a look.
देश की आपने विश्व पटल पर देश का नाम बहुत रोशन किया और आप लंबे समय संघर्ष कर रही हैं। हमने जंतर मंतर पर देखा। उसके बाद जब बृजभूषण शरण सिंह जैसे लोग जब आरोप लगाते हैं कि पूरा जो आंदोलन था वो प्रायोजित था, पैसे लेकर किया गया और आप गलत तरीके से ओलंपिक में गई, इस पर आपकी क्या टिप्पणी?
मेरा एक ही जवाब है उसके लिए। जब हम जंतर मंतर पे पहली बार बैठे थे, आप उसका डिटेल निकलवाओ। जंतर मंतर पे बैठने की परमिशन बीजेपी के 2 नेताओं ने ली थी। उनके हर एक सवाल का जवाब उधर से ही है, वो उधर से ही खोज लेंगे। और रही बात ओलंपिक्स में जाने की, वो तो
नियम पे
अभी नहीं, उनकी बातों पे लोग विश्वास करेंगे। जो उन्होंने बोला था, ये ओलंपिक पहले क्या बोल रहा था कि एक भी लड़की सामने आ गई मैं फांसी खा लूँगा। कितनी लड़कियों ने केस किया? कुछ नहीं किया उन्होंने। वो बोलते थे कि नहीं ये तो अपने खेल में चीटिंग करके आगे जाना चाहते हैं, ये रूल बदलवाना चाहते हैं, ये नेशनल नहीं खेलना चाहते हैं, ये ट्रायल्स नहीं देना चाहते हैं। मैं नेशनल खेल रही हूँ, मैं ट्रायल्स दे के गई हूँ, ओलंपिक्स में मैं गई हूँ, मैं क्वालिफाई मैंने खुद से किया है। हर एक चीज़ वो की है जो वो बोल रहे हैं और जो ये अब बोल रहे हैं इसको भी हम गलत साबित करेंगे। जो माननीय न्यायालय में जो कोर्ट में जो केस चल रहा है वो पूरे देश के सामने आएगा, वो छुपी हुई चीज़ें थोड़ी है।
Meanwhile, a big focus on NDTV, the fallout of the Kolkata rape and murder horror. Well, hundreds have descended on the streets of Kolkata to reclaim the night. Yet again, of course, a reminder of what happened on the eve of the Independence Day. But these are members of civil society, doctors, all up in arms. It's been a month since that horrific incidents and no justice yet. My colleague Saurabh Gupta has more on this.
Well, you know, there are going to be protests, and these are citizens' protests. Obviously, Kolkata as a city is known for its spirit of protest. And of course, when something like this happens in a city where a doctor is brutally raped and murdered in her workplace, at her workplace, obviously there is going to be outrage among citizens, and that's what's playing out with several, groups descending on the streets of Kolkata under the Reclaim the Night banner. And it's, in a way, an indication of what women and generally a lot of people feel, that everyone has the right to be safe at every point of the day, which is why that's the point these protests are making. Now, apart from that, yes, the parents of the Arjikor victims are also expected to be around these protests and present at a few of these protests, and that's simply because we heard them through, earlier as well at the protest, and they say that they may have lost a daughter, but they've gained many more children in terms of people who've come out in solidarity, against what has happened at Arjikor Medical College and Hospital. Now, apart from that, there's another update as well, and that's of course to do with an FIR that has been filed at the Bowbazar police station. And this is in connection with threats to junior doctors, who've been participating in protests. And the FIR is against a close aide of Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of Arjikor Medical College and Hospital, who, as you know, is in CBI custody because of the allegations of financial irregularities against him. And the Bowbazar police, which is under the Kolkata police, have registered an FIR based on a complaint received at the police station. 3 doctors have been named in the FIR, and the FIR has been registered against Dr. Birupakha Biswas, who is known to be an aide of Sandeep Ghosh, along with Dr. Ranjit Shah and Dr. Vigde, who also have been named in the FIR for allegedly threatening some of the junior doctors.
Meanwhile, the pressure is on the central government as much as it's on the TMC government in West Bengal. In fact, the latest is that the governor has directed the TMC government in West Bengal to hold an emergency cabinet meeting and also fix accountability when it comes to the Kolkata police. What sources have told NDTV is that the governor has also directed the TMC government to decide on sacking the police commissioner. Remember, there have been various demands to sack the Kolkata police commissioner by the junior doctors as well. So there, the pressure on the Mamata Banerjee government. Meanwhile, news from poll-bound Jammu and Kashmir. Rajnath Singh has been campaigning in Jammu. In fact, he campaigned very close to the line of control on Sunday. He made an important point. He said that there can be dialogue and talks with Pakistan only if Pakistan stops aiding terrorism. So in a first, the defense minister there hinting at a possibility of dialogue with Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान से बातचीत करने की बात कुछ लोग करते हैं। मैं कहता हूं पाकिस्तान एक काम कर दे, आतंकवाद का सहारा लेना बंद कर दे। कौन नहीं चाहेगा कि हमारे पड़ोसी देशों के साथ रिश्ते बेहतर हों? क्योंकि इस हकीकत को मैं जानता हूं बहनों भाइयों, जिंदगी में दोस्त बदल जाते हैं लेकिन पड़ोसी नहीं बदलता है।
And well, political tempers are high in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, in Shopian, there was a bit of a standoff, a scuffle between workers of the PDP and AIP. In fact, it was candidate engineer Rashid's supporters who clashed with workers of the other party. What exactly was the cause of this? What really happened? Have police detained people? That is also not known as of now, but at least 8 people have been injured. My colleague Nazir Masoodi has more on this.
Well, clashes have taken place between PDP and AIP workers in Balpora area of Shopian district, and 8 people, including PDP candidate from Shopian Assembly constituency Yawar Shafi Mir, have been injured. He has been shifted to hospital. Police have filed an FIR, and also violation of model code of conduct has also been reported. This incident happened at Balpora village when both the supporters of both the parties, PDP and also AIP's Awami Ittihad Party, which is led by Engineer Rashid, the MP from Baramulla, who is jailed, who is in Tihar jail for last 5 years, who he recently defeated Umar Abdullah from Baramulla parliamentary constituency. So his supporters and the PDP supporters, they clashed, and there were reports of stone pelting, and they beat each other. 8 people, including PDP candidate, have been injured in this clash. This is really very unusual in Kashmir politics. This doesn't normally happen. Because normally there was always the concern about security, but now as we see then like a kind of normal politics taking place, and now we see in a surcharge election atmosphere, both parties clashed, and then there was violence, and then 8 people, including the candidate of PDP, have been injured during these clashes.
And meanwhile, other big focus on NDTV for a state limping back to normalcy. Violence has returned to Manipur. In fact, in just 2 to 3 days, at least 12 people have died in separate isolated incidents of violence. And now citizens and residents of the capital, Imphal, have descended on the streets. In fact, take a look at those visuals. They're marching for peace. This is, of course, as I said, violence has made a comeback in Manipur. In fact, these residents call for the governor to actually take immediate stock of the security situation. And with that, we'll step into a short break now, but news continues on the other side. Welcome back. The latest on the political drama in Maharashtra. Well, it's an election year in the state, and the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, made an interesting remark, and he said that, well, it was a mistake on my part to field my wife against my cousin Supriya Sule and create that rift in the family. This, as he has made it amply clear that he will not contest from Baramati and potentially pave the way for his son. Here's a report.
घरामध्ये फूट पाडण्याचा प्रयत्न करताय हे बरोबर नाही.
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar admitting his mistake that led to the split in the NCP and his family. This time to stop a party leader's daughter from crossing over to his uncle's camp and contesting against her father.
त्याच्या हाताखाली जो शिकतो त्याला सगळे डाव शिकवत नाही, एक डाव राखून ठेवतो, एक डाव वस्ताद राखून ठेवतो, बाकीचे सगळे त्यांना सांगतो. मला त्यांना सांगायचं अजूनही चुकभूल करू नका. तुमच्या वडिलांच्या बरोबर राहावा. वडिलांचं जेवढं लेकीवर प्रेम असतं तेवढं प्रेम कुणीच लेकीवर करू शकत नाही. आणि असं असताना तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये कुठेतरी घरामध्ये फूट पाडण्याचा प्रयत्न करताय.
State Minister Dharmarao Baba Atram's daughter Bhagyashri is apparently ready to join the Sharad Pawar faction and contest from Aheri against Atram. Baba Atram is putting up a brave front.
मेरे को नहीं मालूम मेरा बेटी किधर है क्या है वो मैं नहीं जानता. मेरे को मालूम नहीं कौन से पार्टी में जा रहे हैं. मेरे को कुछ अभी तक पता नहीं. जाएंगे तब देखेंगे. जिसको जिधर जाना है जाने दो. उसमें मेरे को कोई दुख नहीं है. लोग देखो एक बेटी गई लाखों बेटी मेरे पास है.
Ajit Pawar's admission set political circles abuzz. Those in the NCP Sharad Pawar camp claimed this is just an admission of defeat by Ajit Pawar. Some leaders called for a return to the real NCP with Sharad Pawar as its leader.
महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री अजीत दादा पवार इनका बयान सुना. उन्होंने कहा कि कुटुंब महत्वपूर्ण है, राजनीति दुय्यम है. क्या उन्हें अपनी गलती पर पछतावा हो रहा है क्या? तो अजीत दादा का वक्तव्य सुनने के बाद अगर उन्हें किसी चीज को जाहिर करना है तो कृति में भी उनका वक्तव्य उतरना चाहिए. आपने शरद चंद्र पवार साहब का पक्ष तोड़ा, आपने उनके विधायक लेके गए, आप उनके कार्यकर्ता लेके गए और पार्टी पवार साहब के होने के बावजूद आपने अपना अधिकार उस पार्टी पे जमाया. आपको अगर अब पश्चाताप हो रहा है, ग्लानि हो रही है, तो मेरी विनती है आपसे कि जिस प्रकार का आप भाषण कर रहे हैं, वक्तव्य कर रहे हैं, आप शरद पवार साहब का पार्टी, शरद पवार साहब की पक्ष, शरद पवार साहब की राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पार्टी उन्हें वापस सुपुर्द कर दीजिए. उनके विधायक उनको सुपुर्द कर दीजिए, उनके सांसद उनको सुपुर्द कर दीजिए, उनके कार्यकर्ता उनको सुपुर्द कर दीजिए. तो हम मानेंगे कि सही मायने में अजीत दादा पवार को पश्चाताप हुआ है. अन्यथा ये सब राजनीतिक बातें हैं.
Allies in the MBA question Ajit Pawar's belated regret. They say he is blaming the split for the Mahayuti's defeat in the Lok Sabha polls.
एक बड़ी पुरानी कहावत है कि अब पछताए होत क्या जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. अजीत दादा पवार को जब समझ में आ गया कि जनता ने उनका साथ नहीं दिया, इसलिए साथ नहीं दिया क्योंकि इस भारत की एक संस्कृति रही है, यहाँ घर तोड़ने वालों को कोई साथ नहीं देता, घर में फूट डालने वालों को कोई साथ नहीं देता। अजीत दादा पवार ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के चंगुल में फंसकर अपने घर में कलह करवाया, अपनी बहन के खिलाफ चुनाव अपनी ही पत्नी को लड़वाया, फिर चुनाव में जनता ने उनको हरा दिया। जब इतनी किरकिरी हो गई तब उनको समझ में आ रहा है कि भारत देश की जनता परिवार फोड़ने वाले, घर तोड़ने वाले, पार्टी तोड़ने वालों का साथ कभी नहीं देती।
Ajit Pawar's wife Sunetra Pawar contested the Lok Sabha elections from Baramati against her sister-in-law Supriya Sule. Sule won the contest by a whopping 1.5 lakh votes. In the Lok Sabha elections, NCP contested 7 seats, of which Ajit Pawar's party won only the Raigad seat. Despite the rebellion, Sharad Pawar's NCP contested and won 8 out of 10 seats it contested. Fearing a repeat of the Lok Sabha polls in the upcoming assembly elections, NCP has launched Jan Samman Yatra across Maharashtra. Sources say that out of 288 seats in the Maharashtra Assembly, NCP has demanded 80 to 90 seats. Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar raising Sunetra Pawar's contest against Supriya Sule in the Lok Sabha elections as the reason for rift in the family. This time, even terming such a rift as unacceptable by the society. The question is this introspection too little, too late? With Sujata Dwivedi, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And now the other big headline, well, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi has touched down in New Delhi. It's going to be a crucial visit. It's being described as a generational shift in the India-UAE bilateral relationship. On, the agenda and in focus, very much investment, energy, and all the big infrastructure plans that the two countries have.
A momentous occasion unfolds in New Delhi today as the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed Al Nahyan, arrives for a pivotal visit. This trip signifies not only strengthening of ties but also marks the future leadership of the UAE, with Sheikh Khalid set to be the next king. The deepening bond between India and the UAE is exemplified by remarkable gestures of cooperation, such as the recent construction of Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi, a gesture of goodwill and mutual respect between the nations. The Indian diaspora, numbering over 3.5 million, plays a crucial role in the UAE, contributing significantly to its economy and cultural landscape. This vibrant community underscores the deep-rooted connections between our people. Trade between India and the UAE has surged, with bilateral exchanges reaching nearly $60 billion annually. This economic partnership extends to strategic investments and collaborations that are shaping the future. India is the second largest trading partner of UAE. UAE is India's largest trading partner in the Arab world. Total trade between India and UAE projected to reach $100 billion from $57 billion at present. UAE is fifth largest supplier of crude oil to India and accounts for about 8% of India's total crude imports. UAE ranks first among the destinations for India's exports in West Asia region. As a powerful player in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the UAE's support is vital for India in navigating regional challenges and balancing diplomatic pressures, particularly in relations with Pakistan. Sheikh Khalid's visit highlights the UAE's commitment to deepening economic and strategic ties with India, setting the stage for a future of enhanced collaboration under his forthcoming leadership. This visit not only reaffirms the strong partnership between the two countries, but also paves the way for a prosperous future. The growing alliance promises mutual benefits, reflecting the shared aspirations of India and the UAE.
UAE has emerged as a key anchor for India's Gulf outreach, and with this visit of Crown Prince Khalid, India is expecting to deepen its strategic ties with one of the most powerful nations in West Asia. With camera person Xavier, Mohammad Ghazali for Indie TV.
Meanwhile, news now from Pakistan. Well, there was a major scuffle at Imran Khan's rally. In fact, this rally was taken out by supporters of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf in a major show of strength. But there you can see there was firing. Several people were injured as well. There are reports of death. Though, of course, those were unconfirmed reports. But the supporters of PTI demand Imran Khan's release. And with that, we'll step to a short break now. But before that, we'll leave you with these visuals of color, excitement and euphoria on the streets of Maharashtra as Mumbai is all set. In fact, Mumbai has already welcomed its favorite guest.